Hello, guys. Excuse me. Hey, guys. How's everybody doing this lovely Saturday evening? Sunday morning? Hope you're doing well.
Green line, give it all you got.
There. Alright, guys. Welcome to round 3. Welcome. Everything's scuffed. It's all bad. Welcome to round 3 of Paddock Sim Racing's British GT4 Championship Asseto Corsa Competizione. Yes. We're at Snetterton Circuit. Round 3 here. We're not going to have too many drivers here tonight. A lot of people are having to miss this weekend, but it should be pretty good nonetheless. Very tight track. Very good racing for GT4 machines here this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to what these guys could do here on at Snetterton. Very challenging track if you haven't ran laps here before. This is one of the newer tracks in the expansion pack, British expansion pack here on the Xbox console edition. So a lot of people are getting their very first taste of racing here this weekend. Looking forward to seeing what these guys can do as well. I haven't really checked points. Who was that? Was that the 777 machine? That was Hoybert that just went off in front of these two. There's the Camaro of Larkin. Right there behind TPSR Diesel. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to pull up some standings and things. Just add these as a as you guys can see, well, blam! Here's the point standings thus far this season. As you can see, the Camaro of SPS, Stale, leading the field. Very tight points battles here this weekend, regardless of who's not here. So the points not showing up for a race is going to be dire for those that how do I words? It's been hot today outside. It's been very hot. My brain has melted. So those who are missing are going to be hurting in points. That's going to be 100% sure. Winning championships is showing up to events. There's no way around that. So you miss a race, it is going to become 10 times harder for you to gain any positions back through the field. That is 100% fact. So we'll see who shows up throughout free practice and in qualifying. I believe we're still going to have 2 or 3 more join, so I'm looking forward to them showing up. This is going to be a good show. So just rounding out the top 5 right now is you have SPS Stale with 165 points, GRT Arish with 155 total points. Third place is TPSR Diesel with 146 points. Right behind him is his teammate is TPSR and Smokes, 143 points. And rounding out 5th is Medicate Nation, also a TPSR driver, 139 points. So you can just see the closeness that is the points battles, and that's just 2 events. That's just Oulton Park and Silverstone, and we're right now in round 3 at Snetterton. So a very tight field. And I'm just going to cover this here as well as the next 2 positions. Both have 130 points, both Zeke 72 and Hunter Fox 67. So, let's see. Neither of them are here at the moment. So I believe both of them are independents, which I can check that real quick because I am on Discord at the moment. So for those that confirmed attendance, Stale will probably be here in a few. He's up for Onyx that he might be here. Is he in here? There's Arish. Yep. So pretty much everybody who had confirmed is here. Besides Stale and I believe Ace. So 2 of our fast boys. It's going to be very, very fun to watch this battle. I'm not going to lie. I don't know lap times very well here. I know a lot of drivers were shooting for the 2 flats, but as you can see right now, we already have the top 2, pretty much the top 3 below the 2-minute mark already, but that could very well change because we have weather in the forecast for this evening's race, or at least a chance of rain. There's a few dark clouds off in the distance, and we might see some sprinkles, although we've had a couple sessions so far this week in practices where it was literally a monsoon out on track, so I'm kind of hoping we get some hefty rain out on track just to mix things up for a session or 2. There's a big time difference through the weekend between race 1 and race 2. Oh, let me get rid of your nope, that's not it. Okay, there it is. There it is. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with the weather moving forward. As you can see, we have the sub goal bar down there on the bottom left. We are continuing our hunt for 100 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Once we reach 100 subscribers, I, your host, TPSR Weasel, right there on the bottom of your screen, will be doing 100 laps at Spa. Oh, I'm gonna be so sick of Spa. At Spa in the GT3 Porsche. So go ahead and subscribe, and so we can torture me. And hopefully you enjoy the content enough to subscribe regardless. Okay, so already down to a 59-2 with Medicaid Nation leading the field very closely by Diesel and Fuzzball. Elzebor dropping the times on his laps there as well. Still 12 drivers. This won't be the only content that we're putting together for you guys this weekend. TPSR eSport team, myself included, will be participating in the BCI team battles. Round 1 is tomorrow or later today for some of you. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll be streaming that my time, which will be 7 a.m. 6 a.m. 7 or 6 a.m. in the morning. Yes. So we'll be waking up and we'll be putting together battle, which should be a lot of fun at Spa. I'm torturing myself with the Porsche already just so I can get used to it there at Spa. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try our dandiest to run with some other guns in the Asseto Corsa Competizione world, the Xbox edition. So look forward to that. I'll be streaming that live from my perspective, and I'll also be tweeting out the other perspectives Twitch channels for the TPSR drivers. There will be a stream commentary, I believe. I believe that is in our Discord. And I'll link that in the Discord as well. So if you are curious, please jump over to our Discord channel, our group, if you will, and hang out there, talk about all things racing, or just hang out, chit chat. Good community. About 10 minutes left here in free practice. How many more drivers will go? This should be pretty fun. Hoybert up there, below 59. Eliminate. Stay hydrated, everybody. It's hot out. Yummy. I believe that's all the points that I had to talk about. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? Everybody have a good weekend so far? Anybody watch any of the races this weekend? That was some pretty craziness I've been seeing on Twitter. I haven't watched anything due to me being incredibly busy, but supposedly there's been some pretty good action-packed racing going on this weekend. Like it. Very wide. See a lot going on. More camera angles like that, please. Ah, camera. It's a very odd track in my opinion, but it's what I've ran. It's very fun. It's more set up in my eyes as like a go-kart or a shifter kart track, right? Very. You have like one or two really long straights and a lot of short shoot 90s basically. Very reminiscent of a lot of shifter kart tracks. Try to utilizing as much space in a given area. Mercedes, the PTG Onyx. Very overly, I feel like that corner that he just went through, I don't know the names of these corners very well. Terrible commentator, by the way. But I always feel like I can go a lot faster through that onto the back straight there. And I always run wide. It's a very, very challenging corner for me personally. The rest of these are a lot of fun. That's a fun corner. That little kink into this really long right-hander. Nearly want to put it into a double apex to get the proper line onto this final corner and onto the front straight. It's pretty well there. Very long and long straights here for the front and back straight. Not necessarily a long track. I mean, even with the number of drivers we have here tonight, the lap times all together very, very close. Very close indeed. GDRT Arish just beating out Medicate Nation by 8 hundredths of a second there. And this is only free practice, so it doesn't really count. You got to do it in qualifying, and the weather could change coming into qualifying. So, very unpredictable conditions. Very excited to see that. Or it could just stay dry the entire time and not be fun. Or it'll be fun. Fun for them. But I'm really wanting some rain this race weekend for sure. I'd like to see some rain in the short race, and then maybe some dry conditions in the enduro. Or maybe a 50-50 in the 20-minute or the 40-minute race. Exciting. A lot of the field already pulling off to set up for their qualifying. The top 4 drivers right now. Five drivers in 6/10 of each other. Got the group battles just a little bit further back. Buzzwell Elzebor, SVR, Crazy Mittens. After this weekend, we head to Brands Hatch next weekend, 26th. That should be a lot of fun. Very fun track. A little bit on the smaller side, but a very fun track indeed. What do you, pretty much what you come to expect and love from a British track. Very small, very tight, and very fun. A lot of these tracks I prefer over. I prefer running GT4 machines on rather than running the bigger GT3 cars. It just seems more their style to me. L's aboard Discord saying he's guaranteed a top 10 finish. I think that's very funny. Very funny. All right, just about a minute left. Minute 30-ish left. Very close lap times indeed. Times tables here. The overall free practice lap with a 1:59.08 didn't have the fastest sectors. Those would go to Medicate for sector 1, sector 2. Very quick. And Hoiberg with a very fast final sector. Nearly a tenth over the other two. So very competitive differences from the machines. Mercedes, Maserati, and Cayman. Cayman, very quick car, very nimble little machine if set up correctly. You have the roots of some Audis there in fourth and fifth. So we're gonna head to round qualifying 1 for the short 20-minute race as Smokes will come across the line. I will take a sip. Come across the line in the session. I'm looking forward. And we do have rain in qualifying. This is going to change everything. All of their setups that they just had on their car for free practice, get rid of them. We're going to wet, baby. All right, you're probably going to see 204s in wet conditions. I don't know how wet it actually is on track for them. It looks like a pretty steady rain. Not quite monsoon, but a steady rain, so... Oh, and they all come bursting out. I know those Audis are very quick. Oh, we're going to have to do a quick little reset, so... hang on, guys. Okay.
Green light, go, go, go.
All right. So, now that we got the little maps back up and driver things, still in qualifying here, 8 minutes in. It doesn't look like anybody has completed their first lap yet. We go see Stale joining the fight as he jumps in for qualifying. So, Elzebor, your top 10 finish may have just been for naught. Everybody's very quick, so it's pretty much anybody's race here in the wet conditions here at Snetterton. So, looking forward to seeing what these guys can do. And you'll have a couple drivers on their first flying laps here, starting with Smokes. Bye. Lots of audio issues there. Wow. These cars still in pit lane. Very tricky first corner. Late apex sweeping corner. Turn to a 90 or 180 degree corner. Declared mittens now. So, very curious to see how these guys are going to do. The time that they have, time for probably about 3 good laps, maybe 4 if they got out early. Mittens off track just a little bit there. Grass, off track, hit. This BMW. It seems like they're going so slow through that corner, but it is very sharp 90 for that last corner. This comes back out. Is qualifying. And Smokes, Diesel, and Hoybert across the line. I've dirtied it somewhere. 209 from Diesel. Less than 5 minutes left in the session. Only clean run so far is from TPSR Diesel, but he's still just getting started. Across the line to start his clean runs as Larkin comes through in first with a 2:06.2. Camaro. Jump on board with Maserati of Dedicated. No traction control or ABS on that machine. Across the line, might have slid off somewhere. Very fast machine here in the dry. It's a handful here in the wet, which I can only imagine driving that car in the wet. Very good throttle and brake control, as well as fast hands. Very fast hands. And a 205 from your overall championship points leader, SPS Stale. Smokes just behind him. Very close times already. Got 1 or 2 more laps for these guys. Mittens is about to be run down by the Audi of Smokes. Already. These cars, you can tackle curbs pretty hard in the GT4 machines, but not want to really use them as much as you would in the wet conditions. Throw your line out of wax, and GRT Erish comes back with a 2:04.8 for his fast lap. Stale improves his time, but not by much. I believe 10th or so. Leaving Erish out in front so far with 1:25 left in the first qualifying session. Let's get one more. Flyer, because he just came out of pits not too long ago. Bert moves up to second place, right behind Erish. 4:04.9. 4:04.9s. Good. Fast sector times all over the place. Medicaid Nation with the fast first sector. SPS Stale, fast second sector. Erish, fast first sector, right? Nearly half a second. Very fast. There. SVR Larkin improves his time, moving himself up to 4th. And that is the time for qualifying. So we'll see. Medicaid comes across the line to improve his time, as well as Stale right behind him. Medicaid improves, moving himself back up into 4th. We'll see if Stale has any kind of say in his lap time. And he moves up to P1 with a 2:04.1, beating out Erish by 0.7 of a second. That's a massive improvement in lap time right there. Right behind him is Elzebor in the BMW. Now he comes into pit lane, saving the car for the race. You have Mittens right behind him. Buzzball and Onyx in pit lane. Golf-inspired livery comes across the line, and Mittens moves up to 7th, just in front of Diesel and Elzebor. Nicely done there, Mittens. Great lap time. Checking the leaderboard here so far. So this is your race 1 grid. SPS Stale, GRT Erish, Hoybert, Nation, SVR Larkin, TPSR Smokes, Crazy Mittens, TPSR Elzebor, TPSR Diesel, 2 Fuzzball, and PTG Onyx. That is your grid for race 1, the short 20-minute sprint race here. Most likely going to be in the wet conditions. It is together in time in the weekend schedule. Could be different for Quali 2 and Endurance. We will find out in just a minute. As these guys come back to pit lane, we'll start the 5-minute countdown. These guys will, get their setups finalized for the actual 20-minute race. So you need to stretch your legs, get something to drink, something to snack on, go to the bathroom. I suggest you do it now, because do it now or forever hold your pee. It's only for 20 minutes, though, and then you got another 5-minute break. Oh, yep, there we go. 5 minutes.
Arriving
On the
at
clock.
right conditions. Remember that curves are slippery and watch your braking distance.
All right, these guys are getting ready to go. They will do a full pace lap once comes time to run. So, in the meantime, you guys enjoy. What do you guys want? You guys want to check out like this view here as it rains and check out the cars, or do you want to go back to the pre-stream music? Or we could just do this. We'll do this. Right, there we go. Yep. Yes. should be jumping back in to them on their parade lap. Yep, there we go. Perfectly timed. Would you look at that? Getting pretty good at this. Oh, off. There we go. All right. Check out the field from the front pretty much here. We're right on board with the 777 car of Hoybert as they go around on their parade lap. It's going to be a very challenging first couple of laps here. These guys are going to want to do as much as they can on this out lap, parade lap, to get the tires up to temperature for the start of this race. They head down the back straight, weaving back and forth furiously, you can see, trying desperately to get some heat into those tires. Hoibert's like, nah, not part of that. There he goes. Definitely want to weave back and forth with tires. Short race, you don't have to really worry about tire degradation too much here in the wet conditions. It's this wet 40-minute race.
Alright, conditions
Possibly
are wet.
could
Some
be
slipping
a
curves,
factor.
also watch out for your braking distance.
Setup. And Smokes is off track. Having a little battle, I guess. I don't know what. Smokes doing Smokes things, I guess. As they come around the very long right-hander, second to last corner. That's a pretty cool shot. Yeah, I like that. Cars lined up, I guess. Oh, slow down, slow down. There we go. To the start-finish line now. Long wait as they come blasting.
Green light, go, go, go.
Let's see. SPS looks like he had a little bit of a head start over GRT Airish on that run. Whoa, Medicated Nation, a little bit of wiggle there. Hip checks Airish. And he goes off track. It looked like Smokes was off as well in turn one. I don't know if that was an assisted or not. We were too busy watching Medicated at the time. Smokes is pointing in the right direction and moving under his own power. So, back up front, SPS continuing to lead the field as they come through the infield portion here. Very solid start from the Camaro of SPS. A little wide. Oh no, just enough. It looked very wide. Battling it out here. Nation doing some work, putting Onyx right down in positions. Medicaid Nation very quick in that Maserati, so we'll see how he can do here in the wet conditions over the next 18 minutes or so. Oops. Diesel side by side with Fuzzball there. Still decently steady rain so far. Ooh, a little bit of squirreliness from Stale giving Arish. Ooh, big collection here in the back. Bunch of drivers getting together there. So we'll head back up to leaders. Oh, Stale had the inside line there, but the Camaro using his wide shoulders. The American wide body Camaro. Putting Arish on the outside line, giving him lead back after kind of stumbling through the first corner there. Little turn of events. Smoke's caught up to a few cars. Fuzzball, Diesel, like Onyx, Elzebor, and Medicated kind of got away with that final corner scuffle. Really hurt Diesel and Fuzzball there in the end. About 15 seconds back from the rest of the field. Oh, and Onyx goes a little wide, giving Medicaid Nation the way around without any hassle as they go back onto the back straight. Squire Larkin and Hoiberg still kind of keeping their eye on those top two. Ooh, Arish getting a little sideways, as is Hoiberg, giving SVR Larkin the inside window through the kink. And yeah, that was Mittens that went off just behind them after a short left-hander after the back straight. He is back on track, right in front of TPSR Elzebor. So that was a position change from Hoiberg and SVR Larkin. Now up into third place. Came in this series not really knowing too much about the GT4 machines, but has definitely put in the work to maintain his position up here in third place right now. Pace very, very quickly since the beginning of the season. Smokes into pit lane, hopefully with some damages. Very exciting first half of this 20-minute race here. Weather brings out some very dramatic racing indeed. I am not very good at racing in the wet, so I am glad I am here in the very dry booth with you guys as these guys suffer. They're probably, some of them are probably enjoying it. I know I wouldn't be enjoying it. It's a sweat session, and I don't like it. But it sounds like the front guys are having a lot of fun. Still, SPS Stale leading over GRT Arish by about 2 seconds. Just a little bit further back here, we're on board with Hoiberg. Getting a little too friendly with the curbs. You gotta stay away from those as much as possible in the wet conditions. Bringing the tail end of that Porsche to the front. Ooh, I'm getting from, as you can see in chat, I thought that was Discord, but no, that's Smokes there in chat. He started on dry tires, on dries. Yeah, you don't want to do that here in wet conditions. That's not good at all. That'll put him about a lap down. And in the battles of these guys, he's definitely in the mix. Hoiberg now all the way back to Medicate Nation after that little bit of a oopsies with the curb. Continuing to ride those curbs. Very brave man. I try to... you need to actively avoid the curbs in the wet. It's something you must train your mindset to do once you're racing in wet conditions. It turns those rumble curbs pretty much into ice. Glass and ice. Very slippery. Sometimes you can get away with it with car handling, but very slick. Hoiberg, Ellsworth. Maserati just sounds so good. It just sounds so good. Bridge, left-hander, quick downshift again into the right-hander, power back on. Boy, we're going a little wide there again. Track knowledge is very, very important here. As Hoiberg goes off, letting Medicaid go by through the kink there. Traction control in that Maserati, and he still gets a pretty good launch out of that final corner. Easily starting in, I believe, second last. Up into 9th place right now. He does not approve of the wet conditions, but he's doing pretty well out there on track right now. Definitely keeping his team in the points battles, that's for sure. Definitely see the water out there stagnant on track. This livery of Crazy Mittens. Very golf livery. Marin on to the back straight.
We are at the halfway mark.
10 minutes down, 10 minutes to go. It's very quick indeed. Oh, his mittens goes super wide. Right there, out of, I should probably really bring up a track map. Right after the back straight. A pretty good gap to the 67 car and that battle behind him. That battle is pretty much reduced now to about a few seconds. Elzebor still hanging on for dear life with Medicated and Hoiberg behind him. Medicated with a goof, putting him a few positions back. Distant. 2.5 seconds now back. He must have had an off-track run right there as well. Check out our race leader right now. Just putting in the laps. Get your braking points, get your turn-in points. Very, very important. Very comfortable with your car. Push it. It's doing very well. Smokes back into pit lane. There's just still a few seconds back, keeping his eye on that race leader. That's for sure. These two definitely clash of their own, but let's not forget about our third place overall right now, SVR Larkin in his Camaro. Incredibly well here in the wet. Qualified a few positions back where he's at right now. With a really big off. Heading through grass. Basically skipping the final corner there. Diesel drops back just a little bit. A bit of a slow section. Very challenging track for these guys at this point. Oh, and a little slight spin there from Fuzzball in his Mercedes. Super wet conditions. Setup is everything, as well as wet tires. Definitely cannot push as hard as you'd want to, like the conditions that you had in free practice. Gentle foot getting into the throttle. Ooh, Elzebor with a bit of an off, putting Hoiberg, giving him the opportunity to make the move and get by relatively easily, heading on to the back straight. Both of those guys had a bit of an incident because, looking at it, Medicated jumped up in front of them, and he's now in 5th, so I think these two had a bit of a door-to-door action that led them to a takes two to tango moment. Ah, camera, please. That's one thing I wish this game had was better frame rates. And a better spectate mode. A much better spectate mode, please. Like, not have to restart the server every time they switch sessions. It'd be great. That line through there is very good. Very good. Just a few laps remaining here in race 1. We're not done yet. Qualifying 2 right after this, and then the 40-minute enduro version race. Unpredicted weather conditions there as well. Could be raining like this, could be raining harder, or it could be bone dry. Only time will tell, as the 30 machine also in pit lane now. Had a few offs earlier, maybe had a cut tire or some damages. Him, I guess. These three still pretty close together. Hoiberg definitely closing the gap under the brake zone there in the infield. As the gap continues to get bigger between second and third. Hoiberg next to the driver's side door, saying, "Hey, I'm here." Trying to make a move, but not only that, Crazy Mittens right in front of them in 4th place overall. Right in front of the Maserati. That could give Hoiberg just enough to get around, looking to the inside line, coming down the back straight, using as much draft as possible. Doesn't make the move there, but definitely could. That's the final lap. White flag flies for the race leader of SPS Stale in his Camaro. This is the battle to watch right now on track as Medicated goes around the long sweeper as Hoiberg takes a little bit of a wider line on entry. Definitely bringing up the better of the brakes out of the 2 cars. Remember that Maserati once again does not have traction control or ABS. Porsche being mid-engine definitely gets the better traction out of the corner regardless, and Hoiberg will take the lead over Medicated coming into turn 1. Thank you. Brake zone, Medicated looking to do an over-under move. Couldn't quite get it done there, but still right on the rear bumper there of that Porsche. Crazy Mittens still out in front of these two. If they keep battling the way that they are, they'll remain out in front. Oh, looking left, looking right. Dives back in. Oh, Hoiberg outbroke himself just a little bit. Exactly what Medicated want. Medicated returns to 5th place overall. That bit of a off track in the infield there. That leaves Elzebor a chance to make up a few spots if he cuts close enough. Doesn't look like they were quite close enough to continue their battle. We'll jump up to race leaders. He comes down the front straight out of the final corners. Arish getting sideways back there. Comes across the line.
Finished the race.
In first, Arish getting really squirrely and into the wall. Very good race by these guys. He is. Oh my lord. Okay, we're gonna. Great run by SVR Larkin, keeping himself in 3rd place in clean air. That majority of that race coming in 4th. Hopefully, maybe, probably, most likely will be Crazy Mittens. Just in front of Medicated and Hoiberg, with Elzebor rounding out this mid-pack battle for race 1. Over right there. PTG Onyx up to 8th, and Diesel remaining in 9th. Buzzball 2 laps down, out on track. Definitely had some damages earlier on. Possibly a tire or something. No, we'll find out after the race. crosses the line as well right there. Yep. All right, so that is race 1. We'll go into a short little break and oh, connection failure. That's not good. I hope that was just me. Real quick. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hang on a second, guys. We'll probably reset and just do the 40. Wait, wait. All right, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, guys, so we're gonna have to end the stream. Looks like we're having server issues, and I can't seem to fix it. So, from this point on, we're going to call it. So we'll do qualifying 2 and race 2 next weekend. So we'll continue Snetterton next weekend. So look forward to that. I will see you guys later. Everybody have a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Everybody stay safe out there. Weasel out.